Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, man. I am so excited to get into this content today because I'm going to talk about my favorite topic, and that's getting to the bag.
Number one is that get the money first. Okay. Rule number two, don't forget to get the money.
So if you want to know how to make more money as a server, all the little tips and tricks I've learned and seen results from have increased my income. Stay tuned, okay? I'm excited to be back making this content. I just went the entire month doing content on Dubai, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check out my clips, my series. I went to Dubai, dinner in the sky, dinner underwater, how much everything costs, all of that. Be sure to check that out. So if you like to make money, not only stay tuned, but hit the subscribe button. With no further ado, let's get right into the top 10 tips to make more money as a server. All right, number one. This one may seem a little bit obvious, but be on time. And the reason why is because, there's mainly two shifts, a morning shift and a PM shift. So for the morning shift, it's important to be on time because basically the first person there is gonna be the one that's taking all the tables. For the PM shift, basically like you're gonna be relieving somebody. And so like when somebody's ready to go home, the AM server, when the AM server is ready to go home, they're not going to want to be taking any tables like within 30 minutes to an hour of the shift ending because they don't want to get stuck there. So if you're on time or early, whoever's the first server there is not only going to be able to take tables for their section, but there's going to be other servers that are thirsty to go home and they just got sat, but they don't want to take those tables. So it's a good opportunity for you to go ahead and pick up some extra tables right at the beginning of your shift until the next servers arrive. It gets you a good way to get in good with the managers, and getting good with the managers is going to be able to get you those good shifts that you like. Like I feel like in the serving industry, they don't really there's not a lot of punishment. There's mainly just like they're not going to give you the good tables or the good sections or the good shifts. So you want to do what you can to make sure you get in good graces to be able to set yourself up to be getting the best opportunities. One more thing on that, it's also just respectful for your coworkers because when they want to go, they want to go, and if you're late, like it's gonna force them. You could literally make them get stuck there way later because they had to take tables, and then customers are sitting there like, where's my server, why aren't you serving me? And they're like, well, I'm leaving, the next person isn't here yet, but they'll be here soon to take you. Anyways, it just gets messy. Number two is basically to be sure that you take your time with the customer to explain and show them what you can to give them the best experience. So for example, this might mean letting them know, hey, if you want me to put something else on the TV, I can. Or letting them know, hey, we have a jukebox in the corner that you can control. Or just so you know, you can substitute the fries for a different side. Or you know what, I usually take this and put it on a different bread, and that's how I eat it. Or you know what, if you order it this way instead, it's gonna be a little bit cheaper. Things like that are just gonna make the customer feel good, feel happy, give them a good experience, connect with you, and these are the type of things that are gonna increase your tips. A lot of people don't like to tell customers about discounts and stuff like that. Personally, I do, because to me, I'm gonna do everything I can to make this customer happy and in a good mood to tip me. Love it. Number three is to always find your POC, which is your point of contact. And for instance, it's a date, you're probably gonna go through the girl because not that she is in charge, but she's probably gonna be, a lot of the times the wives are the ones that sign the receipts, and they be haters a lot, so you gotta do what you can to try to sweeten the deal for whoever is gonna be in charge. So basically, if it's a group of people, you'll walk up and identify who's the person that's actually gonna be paying, and make sure you're talking to them and not just talking to one of his homeboys who's giving you the runaround and wasting your time. So yeah, always identify the POC, because imagine you're sitting here being all sweet and cute and doing the most, and his homeboy is paying and he's actually broke. Always identify the person in contact, and that way you can make sure to literally in groups, like it's hard to like please everybody, but you can make sure for sure this person is 100% pleased and do your best to please everybody else as well. Okay, so one thing that I do is number 4. This is something I do in life. Basically, if you're trying to get a certain result, you have to think backwards. You have to think about what can I say to make this person give me the outcome I want. So like, for example, I'll be like, would you guys like to pay cash? And like damn near make them say it. Basically, I'm trying to like push them to pay cash so that I get to take more money home that night. So yeah, basically like I'll say, yeah, like, are you guys gonna be paying cash today? Or did you need me to run a card? Like, how does that sound? Like basically the cash sounds more appealing. Like, would you guys like to pay cash today? Or did you need me to run a card? Like, just the way you say things is important. Or if you're even trying to like influence them, like just make sure you're aware of the tone of your voice, the order of your words, and just be very like tactical with your way of words when it comes to dealing with these customers. Also, one other thing when it comes to cards is like a lot of places, at least I always make sure that I get a card on file. Like, don't ever ask a customer, is it okay if I just grab a card to put on file? Or don't ask them, do you have a card I can put on file? Like, where it's an option for them to think about. You need to tell them like, I just need a card to put on file for your tab, okay? That's literally what I say to them. And same thing if I want a tip. Let's say that like everything is paid for. And this is something that I will literally say to multiple people in the party until I get an appropriate tip.
Say, you gotta pay for this.
I will say like, hey guys, thanks for coming out. Everything is already taken care of. I just need to get a tip from you guys. Or thanks for coming out. The only thing that's left is a tip. Like, all I need is a tip. Thanks for coming out. Everything is paid for. You know, sweetening the deal, sweetening the deal. All I need is a tip. That's all. Just a tip. Okay, so that's definitely another thing I always ask. Like, it literally doesn't hurt to ask, and closed mouths do not get fed around here. Okay, so number 5 is be honest with expectations plus be yourself. Communication is always key. Okay, let customers know like, hey, the bar is running really behind right now, so let's order your drinks about 5 minutes in advance, okay? Or hey, just so you know, the ticket time is looking at about an hour right now. That way they have that idea in their head, so they're not asking, where's my food, where's the food, irritated, mad, and messing up your tip because they think everything took too long because they're pissed off because they're hangry. If you tell them up front it's going to be an hour, that gives you an hour of leeway of time they can't be mad at you, okay? So make sure you're just honest, or like if something happens, make sure you tell them like, hey, I'm sorry, basically this happened, like yada yada yada, I'm working on it, you know, I just checked in the kitchen, yada yada yada. Like, you have to be honest with them and communicate with them and touch base with them. Let them know that they're a part of things and you're thinking about them and you're doing your best to make things right for them. Always communicate. Always communicate with the guests. Okay, number 6 is mastering the upscale. This is tricky because to me, like, the key is to make it seem like it's their idea.
How you, I'm saying, how, like, talk to me, bro.
For example, let's say that someone wants a margarita. I'm not about to sit here and give them 1942 unless they seem like that type of person. You know, if they ask me like, oh, what kind of reposado do you have? What kind of anejo do you have? Then I might recommend it. But off the back, I'm probably just gonna go with the Patron instead of like the bottom scale. Like, oh, is Patron okay? Like, wow, that's how I would say it. Like, Patron's okay, right? I'm just giving them what I would drink. Like, I wouldn't drink bottom scale tequila, so I'm not gonna just automatically serve a customer bottom scale tequila, bottom shelf. Even with vodka, I always just give them Tito's. Like, I don't ever give anybody house liquor unless they specifically ask for it. People upsell like, oh, adding bacon or da-da-da. Like, you can just ask them. Like, a lot of people, if you say, would you like to add bacon with that? It's in most people's, like, nobody's gonna say no. Would you like to add bacon? Would you like to add fries? Like, nobody is gonna say no. Like, do you need a side of fries with that? Like, nobody, do you wanna add cheese to them fries? Nobody's gonna say no. Like, those are easy, like, upsell moments. Nobody's gonna say no to that. Like, who would say no to that? You gotta be careful not to sound pushy because nobody wants to feel like they're being scammed or robbed or taken advantage of. So that's the line. I hate how the TV is making my hair like blend in with it. Anyways, onward. Number 7, anticipate customers' wants. Never come to the table empty-handed. So basically, like, if my customer orders wings and fries, I should know I need to get them some ketchup. I need to get them some ranch. I gotta make sure they have napkins and wet naps. Like, if they order, like, for example, like chicken Caesar salad wrap, like I've had it before and I know that it's a little dry and you probably need some more Caesar. So I'm off bat gonna tell them, hey, I'm gonna put an extra side of Caesar dressing on the side because that's how I like it. Like, anticipate those customers' needs. Like, don't have them messy face looking like this. Like, literally, you gotta know what they want before they want it. I feel like that's the key to being a good server. Like, in bottle service, I don't wait till my customers are out of chaser. I'm getting them chaser before they even, refilling their chasers before they even know that their chaser is going low. Same thing like with the alcohol, like their drinks. Like, as soon as their drink is 3/4 gone, did you want to grab the same thing or do you want to try something different? Not, do you want another drink? Would you like to do the same thing or did you want something different? Do you want a drink or do you want a drink? Like, come on now. It's really just a play of words. So that is that. Number 8, this one is really important. Money can come later. Sometimes just get in the room. Build relationships, exchange names, and make conversations. So, like, basically what I'm saying is sometimes you can gain more money later from an interaction. It may not pay off the first time. Real bosses make money on the back end, okay? So, like, for real, for example, let's say I might only get like a couple $100 tip on a tab that I think I deserved a $1,000 tip. However, this guy is a famous YouTuber and he wants to collab, and you know, he can give me exposure to be able to make money later. Or maybe, for example, now he loved my service so much he's going to, you know, book a table at the club with me when he comes out with his friends, like, and make me some more money. Or you never know, your coworkers and security and things like that. I'm in a new city, so I make friends with all the security because these security are the same security that are gonna be outside the club when I'm standing in line freezing and I need to get in. Like, these security are the same security that are about to be, you know, working for the high-end clients, doing personal things to all the best concerts. Like, these are the same security that are gonna be working at other clubs when I need another job. Like, and even like a lot of the jobs I've gotten out of here were from, like, I was serving at a restaurant and they were a manager for a different restaurant, and they probably left me like a decent tip, like, you know, maybe $20–30 on a meal, which is like whatever, you know. But then they offered me a job, and the job they offered me was so much more money. So I would say just, like, you know, start building those relationships with people and don't always only take things at face value. Okay, wait, number 8, I have to tell one more story. So I was working and I had an event. I was working for an event and the clients were a law firm, and they literally offered me an internship by the end of the ordeal. However, they left me like what I would consider a below average tip. Like, opportunities can come in many shapes and forms, so just be pleasant to everybody. Now, number 9. All right, we are getting through these. And number 9. Learn to flip your tables as much as possible by anticipating needs, guiding their experience, and learning the algorithm of seating. Okay, let's break that down. Learning to flip your tables. So if you don't know, flipping your tables is like getting one customer out and the next in. Like, the more customers you have, the more money you're gonna make. So how I said it was by anticipating needs. So, like, basically in guiding their experience. So, you know, don't just sit around and wait for them. Like, hi, welcome, can I get you started with some drinks? Off back. Like, okay, it's time to order appetizers. Okay, you guys ready for dinner? All right, go up to them like, is there anything else you need before I close out your tab? you know, like just pushing them kind of through the experience. Don't allow them to just sit at your table all night for free. Like, even if they're like looking like they don't want to get up, just be like, hey, if you guys don't mind, or not even say that, just be like, hey, I have my next reservation come in, you guys are welcome to hang out at the bar, or something of that sort. Just tell them you have your next reservation coming in, you appreciated them, and you know, let them know where they can conjugate somewhere else. So like guiding their experience is important. So, you know, you want to make it fun, like you want to, like I said, go through all the little perks and fun things that they can do there. But guiding that experience is about getting them in and out in the best way possible. So, you know, let them know when it's time to go by giving them hints. Hey, do you guys need some boxes? Start cleaning up their table, like get them going. And then the other part was like learning the algorithm of seating. So like if you notice there's a line and there's like maybe a couple good people that you think are gonna tip you well, like learn how to time your tables to be able to get new ones in. Like there is an algorithm behind the seating with the host. So yeah, just like learning how the seating works and getting good with the host or whoever's in control of giving you your sections. Like if you know it's about to get busy at a certain time, make sure you get all your tables clean so that you're gonna be the one that's gonna get seated the most. Like I don't know, does this make sense to y'all or no? Like I feel like only like real servers are gonna understand me. And this just, I'm just not liking this situation. I'm not gonna do this again. Okay, this is definitely better. Number 10 can be tricky. So number 10 is be a team player without stepping on toes from the host, managers, security, servers, not only for right now money, but security works on other places for future plus. I already said that. But basically being a team player without stepping on others' toes. I've talked about this before in my bottle service training, but basically like being a team player is if you're walking by and a table stops you like, hey, I need some silverware. Get them the silverware. Like, but stepping on toes is if the table's like, hey, I need a shot. Like, you cannot get them that shot. You need to go tell the server to get them that shot, or ask them like, do you want to get it for them or do you need me to help you get it for them? Even stepping on toes gets so messy in the clubs as far as clientele, but that's a different story for a different time. And I have like more lists, like an expert list and a beginner's list. This is just like, you know, an intermediate, I don't know, list. But I hope these were helpful. I'm gonna leave you with one more bonus tip, and I always write at the top of the receipts that they sign like, thank you, exclamation mark, heart. And sometimes I'll even write gratuity not included, or circle on the receipt where it says gratuity not included. But yeah, those are my top 10 tips to make more money as a server. If you resonated with any of these, drop your own tips below. If you enjoyed this video, you definitely have to check out my 3-part series of how to find a bottle service job, how to go in and like scout, look around and find it. Number 2 is everything that you need to know about the interview, but not only the questions that they're gonna ask you, but the questions you need to be asking them. And then number 3 is basically like me giving you the training that they're not gonna give you. So like just the code, the law, the lay of the land. But I appreciate you guys very much. I'm having a good hair day. I don't know about y'all. Shout out to Kendall on the hair.